Here comes Ted Nugent. Here comes Alex Jones out of the gates, and they hate it. And Ted, Uncle Ted of TedNugent.com on tour right now. He is out of the gates explosively, and we are so honored to have him join us until the bottom of the hour. And there's so much to cover. I got a bunch of questions, Uncle Ted, but first off, you've got the floor. What is front and center, stream of consciousness, with the man who picked up the mantle from Charlton Heston?
Well, thank you for that introduction, Alex, and I bring you greetings and a salute from Working Hard, Playing Hard America. I'm on tour right now. And before we get into the bad and the ugly, because there's unlimited bad and the ugly, I thought I'd just start out by celebrating that there is still a lot of good. I meet with Working Hard, Playing Hard families every day on tour. You know, I don't just show up into town and then play my music and order room service. I hang out with cops and teachers and heroes of the military and, you know, welders and plumbers, just great, great families. You know, the people that live the self-evident truth and that put their heart and soul into being the best they can be. And what we believe in, what we know to be happening in America is well known, better known now than ever. And there is a positive energy of defiance and of voter retaliation taking place out there because the corruption and abuse of power in this government is at an all-time evil and criminal.
You're absolutely right. You know, the establishment, the corrupt kleptocrats are really doubling down, and I think that's because they know they're in trouble. The real spirit of 1776 is rising again. Why do you think that's happening?
Well, again, you don't have to go far. Let's just go to the correspondence dinner, the media and the celebrity stupid orgy. And I'm sure you watched it because we have to know how the enemy operates. And I hope that everybody can YouTube or witness the masterful, the absolute Goebbels, Hitler-type deceit from President Barack Hussein Obama. This guy has been so groomed and so nurtured and so trained on his masterful deception, deceit, abuse of power, where he makes jokes as the ultimate deflection, that he looks in the mirror and doesn't see the handsome, tough, rugged Muslim socialist that he was a short while ago. And everybody roars with laughter because that is some funny stuff. But he does it to make sure that he blows holes in those types of accusations when the evidence against this man, the evidence against the felony recommending vice president, the felony criminal gun-running attorney general, the felony treasonous Hillary Clinton Secretary of State in Benghazi, I mean, it really is beyond the pale what they're getting away with and how many clueless Americans are buying this crap. And so we have to examine their tactics, because his tactics, you have to admit, Alex, he is the best that I have ever known in the smoke and mirrors and the deception, but that doesn't take away that here's the same guy that will tell America that because the Republicans won't raise the debt ceiling, because we the people won't allow the abandonment of accountability when it comes to spending in the government, and he and his family spend $100 million on vacations, but it's the Republicans' fault that there's not enough money for children's medicine. And it goes on, and then he sends the jets, the most expensive jets we have, to our enemies in Egypt that have already warned us and threatened us that they'll use them against us. I mean, I just hope that Americans who know the scam, the depth of the evil in this scam perpetrated by the corruption in our government and the corrupt officials in our government, I hope we are not just listening to Alex shows, that we are talking to our friends and our colleagues and our fellow workers and our family and our people at church and school. We've got to educate Americans to the level of criminality in this government right now.
I agree with you. If you go up to drudgereport.com, he's got a big giant link up there at the top. We'll put it on screen to mainstream news. Boston Herald, $100,000 a year to the two brothers that reportedly were involved in the bombing. And then now they're trying to restrict black powder which I like to hunt with my 50 caliber black powder gun. My son loves to load it and shoot it as well, the one I bought at Cabela's about a year ago. And they're now trying to tell me that I've got to register and do background and then keep a certificate to buy black powder for what somebody that they brought in and funded and protected. 5 agencies. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 agencies knew what was going on and let these guys do it so they can take my freedom and come after my black powder. What do you say to that, Ted Nugent?
Well, I'm going to do something. I don't know if you've ever done. I don't get to hear your show all the time, Alex, but I talk to a lot of people at these nightly meetings on tour, and these people are real concerned about the corruption and the criminality in our government. So they tell me what a great job you're doing. But let me do something different, because I know the guys in the federal law enforcement agencies. I know the DEA and the ATF and the FBI and the Secret Service. I know the U.S. Marshals. They come to my concerts, and we break bread, and we compare ammo, and we train, and we hunt together.
Sure, they were upset about Fast and Furious. I'm just saying it's clear that... why do you think the federal government funded these guys $100,000? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, it goes into what I'm about to bring up, and that is, hey, my friends in the FBI, where are the warriors? Where are the whistleblowers? How could we investigate? How could the heroes of the FBI? Maybe it wasn't the heroes. Maybe it wasn't the actual warriors in the FBI. But how do you investigate these guys? Check them out. See the list that they're on. See the list that their mother is on. See the jihadist relationship. See the radicalization from the Islamist voodoo punks that these guys were associated with, and then not sound the alarm. What the hell are you guys doing?
Well, I mean, we know it's now Obama's Justice Department. We know good guys blew the whistle on Fast and Furious, but that ended up going nowhere when they were caught red-handed lying, and now they're going to use it to take our basic liberties. I mean, just imagine this going on 20 years ago in America. What's your take on them going after black powder?
Well, again, that's smoke and mirrors. It's just like the squalor that President Obama and all his anti-freedom America haters that rallied behind him in the press conference that claimed that you and I don't care about innocent children being slaughtered because we didn't support his big lie, the absolute scam of background check nonsense, which was actually counterproductive to reducing crime and reduce mass murder. Same with the black powder. It's all smoke and mirrors. When you've got a vice president that recommends publicly on television to commit felonies with a double-barreled shotgun, to violate all proven tactics for self-defense by blasting your double-barreled shotgun through the door if you think somebody's attacking, even though it might be your friend, your neighbor, or your child.
Unbelievable.
And then you've got the ATF recommending that somehow black powder muzzleloader hunters might be behind the slaughter of innocents. I mean, Alex, this wouldn't make a believable Saturday Night Live skit.
It wouldn't. That was my next question. What did you make of them foaming at the mouth, trying to find a right-wing patsy or libertarian patsy? And the media even said, we've made an arrest on that Wednesday. It looks like it's going to be a right-winger. Then they said, no, we haven't made an arrest. They were really trying to blame the Tea Party for this bombing.
Well, they've done it so many times in the past because what the Tea Party represents and what you and I represent and what the awakened American represents is an intelligence to the scam. The big scam is being led by the groomed America hater commander-in-chief. I'm gonna hit you with something even more ugly and just heartbreaking and anti-American than anything else. And I bet you've covered this, Alex. We have an epidemic, an unprecedented increase in heroes of the U.S. military committing suicide, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm sure the leftist blogs are going to attack me, misquote me, but I'll tell you why more and more warrior heroes of the military are killing themselves. Because they are in absolute frustration and heartbreak that their boss, their commander-in-chief, violates the Constitution that he has made an oath to, while their hero warrior blood brothers are being blown to smithereens and blown up while executing their oath to the same Constitution that the President, the Vice President, and the Attorney General violate. There is a heartbreak.
Incredible. Stay there, Ted Nugent. I want you to come back and recap that. Ted Nugent of TedNugent.com is our guest. I had tried everything. I'd cut back the amount of food I was eating. I was lifting weights and jogging, but nothing was working. My body was literally starving for minerals and trace elements as well as key vitamins. And as soon as I had that, I immediately could eat half of what I was eating previously and be satisfied. Now, there are hundreds of great products at InfoWarsTeam.com, but I want to point out the 3 that have helped me lose 37 pounds in just 2 months. Products like Beyond Tangy Tangerine, Pollen Burst, and Rebound. When I started taking the Tangy Tangerine and other products every day, I lost more than 37 pounds in just 2 months. Now that's results. I want to challenge my listeners to go to InfoWarsTeam.com and to order just 3 of their products, and you will see the changes in the way you look, feel, and in your appetite almost immediately. Start your journey to health and wellness today. InfoWarsTeam.com. Ted, I want you to recap what you said because the break cut you off, and that's powerful info. You travel the country. I don't think there's probably anybody out there that talks to more troops when they're off duty than you. I think that's fair to say. So I've been to one of your concerts. Probably a third of the people there are active duty. You're in Naples, Florida right now. Why are they committing suicide at 7-fold the previous record of Vietnam?
Well, you know, nobody can say conclusively, but you're right, Alex. If I'm a blessed man, it's not just because of my family and my incredible team, my band and my crew, and all the positive, unbelievable people that I get to hang out with. But the ultimate blessing is the nonstop time I spend with the greatest human beings in the world, which are clearly the U.S. military and their families who, you know, volunteer to give their lives for freedom. And we share a lot of campfires. You know, there's a real openness, a real uninhibitedness around an Uncle Ted campfire. And they talk, you know, personal details and intimate details. I was with them in Kandahar and Fallujah and Kosovo and Tikrit and Taji and unnamed mountain passes in Afghanistan where we escorted flag-draped coffins home. And the sensation I get, in my mind conclusively, is that these guys take that oath to the Constitution to heart, as seriously as anything mankind is capable of. And when they see the abuse of power and the corruption and the sheer criminality and the violation of their oath to the Constitution by their commander-in-chief, these guys just can't understand that they're giving their lives. They're watching their brothers get blown to smithereens, Alex, coming home in flag-draped coffins, and then they see the commander-in-chief, who is their boss, violating the oath that they're dying for. The frustration level is evil. It's palpable. It's like a disease, and their frustration. So my goal is to challenge everybody listening to us right now on the Alex Jones radio show. Get involved with a military charity. Reach out. Go to a VA home. Sit down and tell these guys that, yes, the leaders of our nation are corrupt, but we the people dearly appreciate and thank them. And we're going to
Exactly. America may have been captured at the federal level by globalists, but the real America is still here and alive. And, you know, turn their energy against fighting corruption once they get out of the military. Don't turn it against themselves. But I know it's got to be confusing. Obama is a hijacker of this country. We were talking during the break about how they're funding radical Muslims, funding Al-Qaeda, and I believe letting them attack to then take our liberties. They now say the Tea Party is the main focus, not Al-Qaeda. And you agreed with me. Uncle Ted, what do you think's happening with the funding of terrorists?
Well, again, when we look the other way, I mean, all we have to do is go back and really examine 9/11, when all the different federal agencies were warned about guys learning to fly planes but not land them, and guys are in cells, and guys are being caught, and guys are stopped at customs and then waved through, and guys are on terrorist lists, and then they're monitored, but then they're lost in the shuffle. And the agencies weren't even allowed to communicate because of the wall, the Bill Clinton law that forbid various federal agents to even share information. I mean, Alex, you just got to be kidding me. And the point is, here in 2013, that kind of anti-Americanism, that kind of manipulation still goes on with the welfare scams and the grants that go to these organizations that try to tell us that Islam suicide bombers are a religion of peace. I mean, intellectually bankrupt, and ultimately treasonous. I use the word treasonous because it's accurate.
It is. In closing, a minute and a half left. Now they have to admit 2 billion plus bullets, a billion delivered, billion more coming, roughly 12 times any previous record in a year. Now Congress is investigating. They're hopping mad. What do you think the billions of bullets and all this domestic training to go up against, well, against Tea Partiers is for?
Well, I saw Janet Napolitano with her scam of an excuse-making, groomed and scripted response, and I don't believe the world the president is manipulating conditions to do what he can to start a civil war. I believe that he's brainwashing various agencies. But let me leave you on this note, this positive note. I'm about to go to the annual NRA convention in Houston. I hope everybody joins us in Houston for the National Rifle Association family event, because we've turned up the heat. We are using our proper We the People suspicions to demand answers. And Alex, I got to tell you, with the NRA and more people joining, Gun Owners of America, the Jews for Firearms Preservation, the Second Amendment Foundation, all the different states' gun rights organizations, I believe that we're going to smoke these rats out. And I think we're going to get to the bottom of it, because great men like Ted Cruz and Rand Paul and some of the others out there that are demanding answers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ted Nugent, we're on the march. The empire's on the run. We'll talk to you very, very soon, sir. I'll say bye to you during the break. There goes Ted Nugent. All right, your phone calls, special reports, and a ton of news coming up. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want. In trouble. The real spirit of 1776 is rising again. Why do you think that's happening?
Well, again, you don't have to go far. Let's just go to the correspondence dinner, the media and the celebrity stupid orgy. And I'm sure you watched it, because we have to know how the enemy operates. And I hope that everybody can YouTube or witness the masterful, the absolute Goebbels, Hitler-type deceit from President Barack Hussein Obama. This guy has been...
Here comes Ted Nugent. Here comes Alex Jones out of the gates, and they hate it. And Ted, Uncle Ted of TedNugent.com, on tour right now. He is out of the gates explosively, and we are so honored to have him join us until the bottom of the hour. And there's so much to cover. I got a bunch of questions, Uncle Ted, but first off, you've got the floor. What is front and center, stream of consciousness, with the man who picked up the mantle from Charlton Heston?
Well, thank you for that introduction, Alex, and I bring you greetings and a salute from Working Hard, Playing Hard America. I'm on tour right now. And before we get into the bad and the ugly, because there's unlimited bad and the ugly, I thought I'd just start out by celebrating that there is still a lot of good. I meet with Working Hard, Playing Hard families every day on tour. You know, I don't just show up into town and then play my music and order room service. I hang out with cops and teachers and heroes of the military and, welders and plumbers, just great, great families, so groomed and so nurtured and so trained on his masterful deception, deceit, abuse of power, where he makes jokes as the ultimate deflection, that he looks in the mirror and doesn't see the handsome, tough, rugged Muslim socialist that he was a short while ago. And everybody roars with laughter, because that is some funny stuff. But he does it to make sure that he blows holes in those types of accusations when the evidence against this man, the evidence against the people that live the self-evident truth and that put their heart and soul into being the best they can be, and what we believe in, what we know to be happening in America is well known, better known now than ever, and there is a positive energy of defiance and of voter retaliation taking place out there, because the corruption and abuse of power in this government is at an all-time evil and criminal.
You're absolutely right. The establishment, the corrupt kleptocrats, are really doubling down, and I think that's because they know they're